Throughout the Caribbean, the harsh and tyrant legacy of the European nations has left these regions battered and bruised. As they colonized and imposed their ideological beliefs and norms that reshaped the islands, it created a Europeanized Caribbean and consequently made it least African. Most of us tend to overlook the fact that we were once connected in some form of way or fashion. Our ancestors were taken from the same lands and scattered about the Caribbean to forcibly work in the most hideous, gruesome, and violent conditions ever recorded. The connection we once shared was severed when it took away our native language, names, and religion. Subsequent to colonialism, the Caribbean was home to the indigenous people who were civilized and had their own culture and religion. Nevertheless, history is written by the victors, and the stories told were used to exploit these lands of their riches and resources, and for nothing more than to profit from the likes of sugar and tobacco. This caused an influx of enslaved Africans and indentured laborers from East India and China to populate the Caribbean and work towards its development. We were taught from young that anything resembling or influence from Africa elsewhere was inferior to that from America or the European nations. This false notion has left us brainwashed and disconnected to our true sense of identity. Although it might seem like we have lost that connection to our motherlands, through meeting and mixing with the different groups of people and cultures, together we formed a Caribbean identity that has connected us deeply by the roots and it's vastly influenced from our origins. This can be identified by many forms and actions, one mainly being by the way we speak. Although the European languages persist in the Caribbean, they are rarely ever spoken in the European form. Dialects such as Patois and other Creole languages are used to connect us throughout the Caribbean regions. Food, music, and religion are the other three important factors that connect us as one Caribbean. Each has its own twist and variation, but remain influenced by our diverse origins. Although we might look different and speak differently, we in the Caribbean are connected firmly by the roots. We share many of the same cultural values and norms, and no longer should we be influenced by the colonial idea, but rather embrace the further development of our Caribbean identity, so that we may look forward to what might possibly be a united Caribbean. As the saying goes, all we is one. To me, it's one family, one Caribbean. In closing, I would like to leave you with a short poem titled, All we is one. All we is one Caribbean. As you travel from island to island, you'll be greeted with a smile, warm sun, the beautiful breeze, and the crisp ocean smell. The steel pans spit and patter like hail was falling on a galvanized roof, playing with a rhythm sweeter than jazz or blues. One would think this is paradise, but don't be fooled. The bloodshed in these souls, will they make you feel like you see a duppy playing with your feet. Come for the sun and rum, but stay for the vibes. It's always a party wherever you land, each island its own little surprise. From the crop over in Barbados to the carnival in Trinidad, we like to party and get on bad. One would think this is fun, but the reason we celebrate should never be forgotten. From shackles to success and whips to wisdom, 400 years of slavery will be enough to make generations depressed. But we don't hold grudge, as judgment is for the Lord. We welcome you as one and your foreign dollars from abroad.